I'm Monica Price and welcome to Cuppa TV. On today's show we chat to storyteller, actress and presenter Rebecca Hemmings. Magazine editor Leanna talks to us about curvy women and the fashion industry. And my very special guest is a man who works tirelessly for many charities and has raised thousands of pounds in the process. All this whilst being blind, the extraordinary Dave Heeley.
He went straight to the top and burst out of the river. I can't believe it. That food was there waiting for me. And I was so hungry. And that turtle, he knew he played a trick on me. Now I have to go home hungry.
So let's welcome now Rebecca Hemmings. Rebecca, welcome to Cuppa TV.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We've just seen you in a lovely clip there. So tell us about your storytelling first of all.
I've been doing it for years. I've always been in the theatre and education industry, and storytelling is a way of passing down history, passing down messages, morals, lessons to be learnt in general, and they're fun. And the way I've tended to do it over the years is to make it interactive so that the young people can take part in it, so they're actually getting an experience of it rather than being a passive listener. And they find it fun, and people learn through fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's just interesting because we are in an electronic age, aren't we? I mean, most children you see now, they're on their iPads, they're on all these electronic equipment, but storytelling is still something that really, I think, rings true with children.
Absolutely.
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, because it keeps them actively engaged. It helps them to use their imagination. It helps them to be creative, which we know is a skill in most industries when you get older. So I think, yeah, it's really important.
And is it something you think gives them confidence as well?
Oh, definitely, because, you know, it's certainly when they're interacting with the story, when they're acting out their story, they're putting themselves on the line, they're showing other people, this is me. But also what's great about it is that they can kind of hide behind the character. I used to do that because I used to be really shy as a child. So I used to hide behind my characters, and I could be the most confident person ever, but you know, at home I was really quiet.
Yeah. You see, now that's lovely though, isn't it? Because interesting, you said that you were shy. And so did the storytelling, when you tell the stories, does that bring out a whole new you?
Absolutely, yeah, because like as I said, you get to be somebody else, and because you know nobody's judging you, you can do whatever you want to do.
And do you enjoy working with children?
Oh, absolutely. They're honest, they're full of energy, they're open, and they're sponges for learning. I mean, I have my daughter, she's 22 months, and I'm loving teaching her at the moment. I'm loving sharing stories with her, and she gets excited. So, you know,
you're going to be amazing. You're going to sit there, your daughter is going to have all these wonderful stories. I mean, here on Big Centre TV, you're already doing the What's If a Caribbean show. And tell us about that.
That comes on every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 o'clock. And what it is, it's a wonderful opportunity for us to share the African Caribbean community from our own point of view. So we speak to many music artists, business leaders, community leaders, and we just share what's happening in the community.
And that's great. And you're also that lovely Miss Icy.
I am, yeah, based on my grandmother.
Oh, fantastic.
Miss Icy is a Jamaican storyteller.
Yes. Again, and do you enjoy doing that?
I love doing that, because again, you know, in my work, sometimes I have to be quite serious. I have to get, you know, negotiate with head teachers and stuff like that. But I get to release, relax, and again, engage and teach through the stories.
And I think it's because of what you do. Do you ever see yourself on the stage?
Oh, I've been on the stage many times, absolutely. Gosh, yeah, what can I say? I've played many different roles on the stage.
And do you enjoy doing that?
I do. I enjoy performing, but even more so I enjoy teaching. I enjoy educating. I used to work for one of the biggest theatre companies in the world, and that was my role, was to teach through using drama and stories.
Again, I think it's a confidence building, isn't it? Things that are teaching with the arts, with theatre, film. I think it's a very a good way to engage with the children. Would you agree with that?
Most definitely, because again, you're working with others, you're working on your team building skills, you're creating something, you're showing something to the world that you've created, and you're being appreciated for it. That definitely boosts your confidence.
What do you like best? You've got presenter, storyteller,
Ooh, that's
mother,
a difficult question, Monica. No, I really don't know. I don't know because I enjoy them all. But what I love most is that all those different roles enable me to teach others, and that's the most important thing.
And you said you know you're being a mother.
Yes,
it's very important to you.
Yes.
Has that changed the way that you now are in your business life?
Oh yeah, I'm so focused. I don't know what I did with my time before. You know, I think I wasted a lot of time. Now, you know, everything has got to be scheduled, and if it doesn't make sense, I don't do it. You know, and if it takes away from too much time for myself and my daughter, again, I don't do it.
I think every mother that's if any of our viewers that are watching that are mothers are going to relate to that. I think because I think you do becoming a mother just changes your perspective about things, doesn't it? And where do you see yourself in the future, Rebecca?
Oh gosh.
What would you like to do?
Just being bigger and better at whatever I do. I mean, I love being on the TV, and that obviously enables me to reach a wider audience. So, you know, maybe doing what you're doing one day.
Quite right. Well, it's been so lovely to see you, Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining us on Cuppa TV, and good luck with everything in the future. Thank you. My next guest today is a man that just doesn't seem to know when to stop. And just when you think he's done all that he can for charity, he does some more. So the first and the only blind person in the world to have completed the ultimate endurance challenge, which was 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. Please welcome Dave Heeley, affectionately known to us as Blind Dave. Dave, so wonderful to see you here today. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a pleasure.
It's just, I mean, that one statement, 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents, you know, how crazy is that?
I know, it was...
And that's not all that you've done though, Dave,
no.
is it? I mean, you've done 10 marathons in 10 days with lots of cycling in between.
Yep.
Dave, what is it? What inspires you to keep doing these things?
You know, a lot of people ask the question, and I think it's, number one, I enjoy it. Number two, you know, to use the word if you want to, my drug is fitness. It's also, being a blind person, it's great when you walk into schools, or walk into anywhere, and you know, you have people, oh, it's a bit like that today, and I think, hang on a minute, you know, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do, you can do. It's that positive vibe, hopefully, we keep throwing across. But challenges in life, I don't want to become first. I want to challenge myself. I enjoy it. I enjoy the training. I enjoy creating awareness. I enjoy making funds available for other people. And I'll support, you know, all sorts of charities. And a lot of it is due to personal situations, and so that's how it happens.
And that's it, Dave, you do it for different charities, don't you? Tend to pick different charities. So again, is it just, what motivates you to do that? Is it just you want to spread your love, your word? What
I mean, where the 7 marathons came in, I mean, that all stemmed from the fact that after 30 years of doing training, you know, I used to do sit-ups and press-ups in the house. I got back involved with running, a love of mine when I was a kid. Blindness took it away from me. And I had the opportunity, and I never thought I was going to run again. Run my first London Marathon. I've done 12 consecutive so now to date. But I kept thinking, how can I get £1 to make a fiver, to make a tenner, to make 100 quid on my sponsor form? Heard somebody had done the 7 marathons, being able-bodied, and I thought, hello. Could I become the first disabled?
Yes.
And the first blind person? And we put the sort of challenge together. Guide dogs, because obviously I'm on my 4th guide dog, and they're a wonderful charity. Yes. So I did the first one for Guide Dogs for the Blind. And then when I came back from the 7 marathons, undertaking and completing, it was fabulous. And then other people said, look, we feel that you could be an inspiration to all and sundry. Could you do it for X, Y and Z? And I thought, well, hang on a minute. I know I'm blind, and I know that it's not the best thing in the world, and I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. But there's a lot of people that are worse off than myself. I'm blind, I can still get about. I'm blind, I can still do things, challenges. And I thought, hang on a minute, if through what I'm doing can help others, then let's throw it out into the wide world. You know, so I do it for all sorts of charities. I still support Guide Dogs, I still support Macmillan Cancer Support. But if we can make a few bob, but more importantly, create awareness for people, that's the key for me.
It's when you talk about being blind, Dave, when did you go blind? How old were you?
Well, I was born with a disease called retinitis pigmentosa. As I can't spell it, it's RP. But and so basically, I was born to go blind. I always had night blindness, and I was diagnosed at 10. and then I got to sort of start realising why I wasn't seeing what my friends were seeing, why I was the one who kept running into the trees and falling over brick walls and riding a bicycle, which I shouldn't have been on, into the back of a car. But I didn't accept it, didn't want to accept it, couldn't accept it. The research wasn't there, and I'm so pleased because my mum and dad didn't mollycoddle me. They allowed me to live a normal life, which has helped me. Diagnosed, as I say, at 10, but it was 18 when my career suddenly took a nosedive. I wanted to be in the armed forces. I went for the medical, and I think then I knew that I couldn't get in, but I had to go. I can't just say, no, I can't. I had to go, and I had to be told. And that's when my life dramatically changed. I then realised, accepted the fact, or didn't accept the fact that I was going blind, that it was ruining my life, it was taking my life away. But I went on a journey.
Yes.
And yeah, I had a journey for a few years, and it was a dark journey, and there was a few tears, and there was a few sore toes from kicking this and that and the other.
Listen, we've got to take a break there, Dave, but stay with us. Come back and join me after the break. Welcome back to Cuppa TV. I'm joined here with my guest, Blind Dave. Dave, it's just been fascinating to talk to you so far. I've got to ask you now, what now? I mean, you've done so many amazing things. What's next on your list?
Well, what's looming is the Marathon des Sables, or MDS as we affectionately know it.
Okay, tell us about that. Is that the desert one?
Yes.
Oh, well then Dave, I have to stop you there because I read something that you quoted. Tell me if it's true. You said, I thought I was being asked about the desserts, but it turns out I was saying yes to the dessert.
It's right, yeah, I was in a restaurant, you know, dessert, yeah, next morning I find I'm running in the desert. It was brilliant, but no, the Marathon des Sables is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, amongst other things. And I've never found anybody stupid enough to want to do it with me. And so I've hooked onto my mate Tony, great pal, and also Rosemary, another great pal. And so I've got two guides. I've been accepted into the Marathon des Sables as the first blind person ever to attempt it. I guess they've had a look at the CV and thought, well, yeah, he's probably capable of it. But basically, in a nutshell, it means running, stroke walking. It's the toughest foot race in the world through the Sahara Desert over a period of 6 days. Gosh. And we've got to camp, we've got to cook, we've got to sleep, we've got to eat, we've got to do everything. We've got to carry all our own food, all our own cooking utensils, sleeping bag. I'm told that the temperatures could hit 50 degrees at night, so we've got shorts which we're going to live in, and then in the day. Then at night, it drops to freezing.
Yes,
so
because the desert does drop quite at night, doesn't it, the temperature?
So it's just going to be an adventure.
And when do you do this, Dave?
We kick off on the 3rd of April. We fly out on the 3rd of April, and I've just realised only this morning that it's the 3rd of April is Good Friday, and I'm thinking, what's good about that day? You know, and then we're in the desert one night and one day before, because we have to throw all medical things into them. They give us our numbers and our compulsory kit, etc. Then on Sunday the 5th we become totally self-sufficient, and for 6 days then we're let loose in the Sahara Desert, and we've got to get from A to B. And you know,
Dave, that's incredible. What an incredible journey. Who came up with the idea? Was it?
Well, it's the Marathon des Sables has been going for 30 years. This is the 30th anniversary. And my mate Tony's actually run it before. Now he said he would never ever put his feet in the desert again. But he said as a joke to me, and this is how it come about, he said, but you let me guide you and I'll do it. So I said yes. And now my name has drastically changed. He calls me all sorts of things, but he's up for the challenge.
Fantastic.
And you know, it's just one of those things. I hate the sand. And yet the wife says, you're going to run in the sand. I'm not particular on heat, and I'm going to be running in the heat. But
so how are you training for that, Dave?
Well, this is another question.
Yes.
Why, if we're going to be running in 50 degrees, am I training in the snow, the hail, the fog, the cold, you know, running up and down hills at 6 o'clock in the morning, freezing to death? But it's like Town says, if we can get fit physically and mentally, stand on the start line, you'll just have to take the heat on the chin. It's as simple as that. So
Dave, that's just incredible.
Hopefully when we get back, and hopefully, and I mean this, hopefully, you know, because one never knows whether one's going to complete. But if we have, and I do, I'd love to come back and
Oh,
tell
yes.
you all about
Oh,
it.
you must come back and tell us how you got on. And is that the only thing you're doing, Dave? Or is there
Well,
something
no,
else you're
because
doing
it's
as well,
all
aren't
it's
you?
all part of the Try Albion Challenge, because I'm doing it for the Albion Foundation.
Okay, and
the
tell us about that.
Well, the Albion Foundation are an organisation, brilliant organisation, and through sport, mainly football, they've got blind football, they've got wheelchair football, they've got disability sport in general, they've got underprivileged kids, they've got a school now, and for any of the kids who can't hack it in mainstream through one reason or another, you know, bullying or whatever, they pull them out and pull them in. And through the sport element, they're pulling these kids into teams. They're taking them away from mum's apron strings, and they're giving them the independence. They're building the confidences, and it's working. And to see those kids in operation, and I sense the smiles, I feel the smiles. They are confident kids now, and I think that it's a beautiful organisation. So I want to support that now.
So that's what you're doing.
Yes, and that's the reason I'm doing. But the Try Albion Challenge, because we did a cycle ride back from St Mary's, Southampton last week to the Hawthorns.
Did you? Last week?
Yeah. And
as you do, that's what everybody
well,
does.
yeah, as you do. And we handed over what we call in the baggy baton.
Right.
And
tell us about that. What's that?
Well, the baggy baton is just simply a baton we've made up, and we're carrying it through the challenge. And this week alone, the blind football team, along with the Albion Foundation staff, are walking to every school in Sandwell, which I've been a part of. I've been dodging in and out. And they're going to then hand the baggy baton to me, and then it's my job to hopefully close the circle, run across the Sahara, bring the baton back, and hopefully we've raised an awful lot of awareness.
That's
more
going to be
importantly,
amazing.
Funding.
Oh, Dave, it's just been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
And please come back, won't you, and tell us.
Certainly will.
How,
am I allowed to mention the Just Giving?
Of course.
Oh, well,
Quick.
we've got a Just Giving site,
10 seconds.
www.justgiving.com/blind Dave MDS.
Dave, thank you so much. Pleasure. Thank you. Now, my final guest is a lady who works tirelessly to promote curvy women and runs a very successful online glossy magazine to celebrate women of all sizes to love their bodies and be body confident. But do the media support this? Or do the plus size models struggle in the world of fashion? I'm joined today by Leanna Grant to find out more. Leanna, thank you so much for coming on Cuppa TV.
Thank you, Monica, as well, for inviting me.
Oh, it's okay. It's lovely to have you here. So you have your own magazine.
I do.
Called
Curva.
Fantastic. Tell me about that.
Well, Curva started off just over 2 years ago, and you know, we work, as you said, tirelessly each month to try and produce a great magazine, just promoting a positive body image message out there for women, really.
Do you feel, Leanna, that the media and the fashion industry in particular don't take much notice of plus size models, or are we seeing now a more increase in plus size models?
I think we've definitely seen an increase, but not as much as we could be. I mean, like London Fashion Week, it'd be great to just see all women of all shapes and sizes involved in the catwalk. So I think we've got a long way to go, but at least we can see some movement happening.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think the fashion industry just aren't taking notice?
I think it's because it's been the way it is for such a long time. So, you know, everyone takes change quite difficult, don't they? So it's like, it will come. It will come.
And what do you do yourself to actively support it?
Just try and promote as much as we can, you know, interview inspiring people who encourage women to be empowering, do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, and do you have many people support your magazines? Any celebrities supporting you?
Well, we've worked with some celebrities like Gemma Collins. She's quite a fan of the magazine, and well, we've heard.
Yes, that's always good to know.
Yeah. So it's nice. I mean, we keep going and we keep trying to gain interest and awareness of such a big topic, really.
And do you think that women support you and your magazine?
I believe so. We've got quite a good following out there, so hopefully it will keep increasing, and you know, people will support and promote what we do.
And tell me, what else do you do? You're a businesswoman, so I'm sure you do many other things.
I'm
what
a
else
mum.
do you do? Fantastic, that's great.
I've got a daughter, she's 14.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
Yeah, so it's important, the message that I'm sending out there, to be a positive role model for her.
Yeah, I think you've hit on something there, because young children of the day, we're very, very conscious of their bodies, aren't they?
Yeah.
And much as we talk about overweight, we see underweight as well.
Yeah.
So it's something that, you know, do you think it's something that we need to talk more about openly?
definitely, especially in schools. I think that's where we need to start from.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just keep making sure we're encouraging them to understand that it's okay to be the size that you are, because you're still actually developing.
Yes. And what about if somebody actively wanted to lose weight, you know, were worried about their weight, say they felt they were overweight, they wanted to lose weight, is that okay as well?
I think it's
Leanna?
okay to a certain extent. I mean, don't go too over the top with it, just as long as you're comfortable, because I suppose that's what it is, being comfortable within your own skin. But sometimes you can take it too far with the pressures of the media and so forth. So I just think it's just about being comfortable and being happy within your own skin.
I think you touched on that, happy within your own skin. I think that's really important. I think women, we are under a lot of pressure.
We are.
We see models who look incredible and we think, I want to look like her.
Yes, please.
And then we look at ourselves in the mirror and think, I don't look like that at all. But you know, something like your magazine, what do you do? Do you have articles?
Yeah, we have features and interviews. You know, we interview, you know, all types of different people, bloggers, you know, just people who are trying to send out the right message to women, and I just think it's really important.
I think so. I mean, curvy women are sexy.
Yeah,
you know,
we are.
We are. But I think that's a message. Tell me, do you think that's a message that's not sort of seen?
I think it is and it isn't. I think you know, sometimes the media can take it to another level. And sometimes I just have to rein it right back in and, you know, understand that it's all about health.
It is. Well, I think being healthy is very important. You know, and I was looking at that, you know, and I was looking at what your magazine does, and it says you were talking about health, you know, curvy, being body confident, and is that something you're going to continue to do? Is that the sort of ethos of Curva?
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's something that needs to continue on and happen on a daily basis. More than a monthly like we are, to be honest.
So what's the future for Curva?
Well, I'm hoping that we can go print, but at the moment we're online. We're available on Apple Store and pocketmags.com. So yeah, we're just hoping to go from strength to strength, really.
That's great, Leanna. Well, it's been fabulous to have you on the show
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you so much for joining. You're very welcome. And that's it today. I'd like to thank all of my guests who've joined me today on Cuppa TV. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can join us on Facebook or Twitter at Big Centre TV, or you can email the show. We'd love to hear from you. Come and join me next time. Bye-bye.